Welcome to the SNS Show, hosted by executive producers Dr. Michelle Stevens and co-host Coach Yava Swearington, as they focus on the important issues within our society, from the highs and lows of surviving everyday life and so much more. And now, here are your hosts.
To the Dr. Stevens and Swearington Show. Today, during our show, we'll be talking about the very hot topic, understanding us, the Black woman. Welcome to Season 1, Episode 3 of the Dr. Stevens and Swearington Show. I'm your host, Dr. Stevens, and along with me is the co-host, Coach Yah.
I'm Coach Yava Swearington. Today, we are excited to bring to you our third episode entitled Understanding Us, the Black Woman, where we will be discussing myth, beliefs, and realities. And today, also, we have two special guests that will be joining us on these conversations. Thank you.
Our first guest joining us is Coach Katina Farrington. Welcome, Coach Farrington. We want you to join us and tell us about yourself and introduce yourself.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Stevens and Coach Yava, for inviting me to your show. It's a pleasure, and I'm really excited to be here. My name is Katina Farrington. I'm the founder CEO of Farrington Consulting, where I serve in dual roles. I am a psychologist who provide comprehensive psychological evaluations to youth, adolescents, and adults. And I'm also a holistic life coach where I utilize all my experiences, training, skill sets to help others understand their purpose and to find their direction.
Our next guest is Coach Carter. Coach Carter, welcome. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for that warm welcome. I can say that I'm excited to be here, and it's actually an honor to be here. I am Dr. Tawana Carter. I'm the CEO of Tawana Carter Professional and Personal Coaching. As a career coach, I work with stressed, busy women executives who are plagued by imposter syndrome, self criticism, and doubt. I help them to alleviate their stress so that they can find peace of mind and fully excel on excelling in their careers.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies, for joining us once again, for being on the Dr. Stevens and Swearington Show. As you know, March is National Women's Month. So this topic of our show, Understanding Us, the Black Woman, is the perfect topic for this month. And our very first topic we're going to talk about is the strong Black woman. So let me just give you my thought on that topic. Black women in African American culture created the persona of the strong Black woman, a woman who's motivated by service and sacrifice, handles, manages, and overcomes any problem and any obstacle. The syndrome called on Black women to be the problem solvers and chief caretakers for anyone in their lives, never bucking, never feeling vulnerable, and never dealing with their own pain. This puts me in the mind of the saying, Black don't crack. We are seen as fierce and resilient, and we are. Oftentimes, we have to be, but then it's seen as something negative. Coach Carter.
Also, what comes to mind is means when we talk about the fierce Black woman, the Black don't crack, the resilient Black woman. All those things benefit others around us. And I think that's where we start missing it. We need to understand that fierceness and that resilience is there for us too, not just for those around us. Yes, they do share because we're all of that and we do all of that and more. But really, we have to learn that we come first and it's okay. Self care is good, it is not selfish. And I think that many Black women get off the track when we start being so fierce and so resilient that we take care of everybody but us.
Mhm.
Coach Yava.
It's oddly that you say it puts you in the mind that Black don't crack. It makes me think of the heavy burden of stress that's put on Black women. We are seen as women with tremendous strength. We carry a smile through it all, and yet we weep at night at times. We dry our eyes and we rise. We often feel obligated to present an image of strength. We continue to suppress our emotions, which later has an impact on our health. We had to learn how to overcome unfairness, setbacks, trials, and tribulations. Through this battlefield called living, we may be seen as negative by others, but our strength is our very essence of our core. So, yes, as Dr. Stevens stated, we are fierce and resilient.
Coach Katina, what's your thought on a strong Black woman?
Well, you ladies have covered a lot, and I love it. And so, what I like to do is just really come to you and share a personal experience, if that's okay.
That's okay.
Because, all right, great, great, great. Because the person you see here today has survived a lot of conditions, like some really difficult conditions. And through those conditions that was life changing, I had begun to develop natural mechanisms to keep on going and to withstand almost anything. And that is what really, when you talk about the strong Black woman, they can withstand almost anything because of the conditions that they're going through. And so through it all, I've developed a motto. My motto is embrace it. That's for one. Two, keep your head held high. And for three, stay in forward motion. Don't allow those circumstances and those conditions to hold you back, to allow you to crumble. So just keep it in forward motion. And that is a strong Black woman.
I like that.
That's awesome.
Like
That's
that.
awesome. That's awesome. Well, that leads into our next topic, the masculine side of me.
Yes, Dr. Stevens, the masculine side of me. Is it masculinity or is it strength, ladies? Let's share it. Dr. Stevens, what is your take on that?
Well, when I think about the position Black women are in today, I believe the
Mhm.
world is looking through stained color shades and can't see the truth. The
Okay.
truth, we are caretakers, employees, full-time mothers, married and single. We are
Mhm.
employers running businesses, homeowners, educators, doctors, and the list goes on. Now, I do believe in some situations there are women who display attitudes of negativity that some may classify as masculine energy, but I don't want Black men nor society to look at us Black women who are operating in her strength and label it masculine, because when they start seeing a strong Black woman, they call that masculine energy.
Mhm.
And I just believe they're getting confused with seeing our strength, seeing us in strong roles, and want to label it masculine rather than labeling it strength, being
Mhm.
feminine in our strength.
Mhm.
Coach Java, what's your take?
Well, it is my opinion, ladies, that when women display boldness, assertiveness, it is being taken or seen as being masculine, but really it's actually our strength. And a lot of times I think people, especially particularly men, they also confuse our assertive when we are really being confident in our skin and confident in who we are, when we are being strong and showing the strength. So I really think that's what it really kind of boils down to, and people just get it confused. So I'm glad this topic is understanding us, because men and the world and people out there, confidence, don't don't mistake that for being aggressive or angry, should I say.
Coach Katina, what's your thought on the masculine side of me?
And I like to say that when women show up, women are placed in situations where they have to take on masculine roles at time in an unconscious kind of way. There are single parents households
Mhm.
where if there's not a father in place, that woman has to show up and take care of the child in just the same manner as that father would have had to be present. And then there's other ways where women have to show up and, like Coach Yava said, you have to assert yourself in situations when sometimes you may want to be silent, but you have to speak up. And then there are some times where that assertiveness may kind of get out of control a little bit and turn into a little bit of aggression, because people may take your assertiveness for um, just weakness.
But
And so
you
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 have to
said
raise your
something.
voice a little bit.
Yeah, you said something about having to getting put in position of being aggressive, and
Yes, right.
I believe that is what people are seeing. They're seeing the aggressive side of Black women, and being aggressive and being like I am a very take charge, take control person, and they can see that as masculinity when even in reality, even that is your one of your strengths. Because everybody doesn't have that personality. There are some people who are very quiet and timid, and always soft spoken, and then you have those who like us who are leaders, and they'll see that as masculine or masculine energy.
Absolutely.
Right. When we stand up and we're direct, and so many people, they don't like directness. So
Yes.
At least they don't like it from us.
correct.
I like the way you put that, Dr. Toria. It's absolutely, that's what it is.
Yes, they don't like it from definitely they don't like it from us.
No.
That was a good statement. They don't like it from us. On that note, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about the misunderstood Black woman.
All right.
We'll be back in a moment.
Hey, it's your girl, Coach Mia, asking you to join the conversation on the SNS show, hosted by executive producer Dr. Michelle Stevens, along with her co-host, Coach Yava Swearington, sharing an in-depth conversations on relationships, health and wellness, important issues in our society, to the highs and lows of surviving everyday life. Streaming live on YouTube at DRSNS Show. That's DRSANDSSHOW. Monthly, every fourth Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. A conversation you don't want to miss. This show is also powered by Quayle Works Empowerment Network.
Welcome back. We are now talking about the misunderstood Black woman. Dr. Carter, give us your take on that.
Too often in society, Black women, we're not given the space or the grace to be a woman. People want to stick us in a box. And that box says, you're not worthy, you're not valuable as everyone else. Take what you get and be happy about it. But when the Black woman stands up and said, no, I'm going to take what I want and do what I got to do to get there, that strong Black woman, that resilient Black woman, people misunderstand it and they don't like it.
And Dr. Stevens, go ahead and share with us your take on the misunderstood Black woman.
Growing up Black, women were taught that white was beautiful and better, while our Black skin was something ugly and unacceptable. We had to force the world, America, and all of society to change and accept us. And we had to learn to adapt and accept ourselves, our natural beauty, in every part of our culture and being. Our skin, our hair, and the way we talk, our differences, you name it, and the list goes on. We had to learn that we are beautiful. And when I think about being misunderstood, first I think about all the obstacles and things that we had to overcome. We had to overcome perm in our hair for our hair to be natural in its natural state. I remember when the first news anchor came on TV in her natural hair, she was let go. And then, there's things that we had to actually, and I don't want to use the word protest, but there was things that we have to, in our confidence, in our natural beauty and our natural skin, come out and step out and say, no, this is us. And we had to change society. We had to change the way people saw us and thought about us and the way we thought about ourselves, in order for us to force who we are in our culture on society.
Dr. Coach Katina, on this very subject as well?
Absolutely. Because that word you was looking for is evolve. And that's what took place. We were born into a situation where we really did have to hide our entire existence. We was hiding everything about ourselves just to be accepted because we didn't want to face rejection. But over the most recent years, we have evolved, and now we're coming out, we're speaking more, we're showing our true versions of self, and we're being out in the forefront. We're sitting on platforms and we're speaking out and we're educating others that look just like us. And that's a beautiful place to be in this day and time. So as we look forward to the years to come, I expect to see even greater change.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So do I, you know,
Yes.
and you said something now we're sitting on platforms, you know, the vice president is a woman of color. Obama was the first Black president. So, you know, we are making strides and now being seen. And that leads us into our next topic. Are we superhuman? And I want to give this take on it. Our value is consistently questioned. We are always compared to women of other races and cultures, but there isn't any other culture in America who has to worry about not being able to protect their children, guarantee their safety, concern herself with being better than in every situation, never really being good enough, must try to be as good, twice as good as any other culture. And we have to always outperform just to be considered average. And I think of it always superhuman. You know, I think about all the stuff that we have to do, and I don't want to call it a burden, but it is the weight that we have to carry, you know, in just striving and living in America, in today's society, and all the people that we're compared to, that we have to stand up in order to be ourselves.
Absolutely. Coach Katina, would you like to give your take on this view as well?
Absolutely. It reminds me of growing up as a child. And growing up for me, my parents had me reading the dictionary. And I didn't understand it then. And then I had to write all these current events. And I'm just like, oh my God, I have all this extra work to do. No one else is having to do it. At least that's kind of how I felt. But when you are an adult, you see why. Like, you have to compete in this world. And as a Black woman, you have to compete a little bit harder than the others if you want to be successful, if you want to obtain jobs and positions and places and spaces that was otherwise unattainable at some point in time. So you have to show up in a way in which you compete. And still today, we're having our kids stretch themselves a little bit further.
Yes.
Mm,
And Dr.
Coach Carter.
Tawana?
Yeah, I like to look at it when we talk about you can't get tea, right? Unless you boil the water and get it hot and then put the tea bag in it. See, there's so many things thrown at the Black woman. She's always in hot water and they're just putting more on it. And we make it look easy. It isn't. We're vulnerable. Sometimes we get tired, but we have this dedication and this determination, and it makes us look superhuman because we do so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that was what I was saying. You know, we have so much on us, and we do a lot. And we're still in the process of, you know, positioning ourselves, you know, of being I don't want to say being great, but of being great. You know, we're still positioning ourselves of being successful. And for some of us, you know, even just being accepted.
Okay.
And on that note, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
All right.
Hey, I'm Dr. Michelle Stevens, a certified master life and wellness coach and minister of the gospel. I help women move from stagnation to certainty, uncover who they are, create goals, and build strategies to success. Schedule a 45-minute consultation with me, and let's jumpstart your journey to a new beginning. You may email me at contactus@drsnsshow.com, or you may call to schedule a session with me at 866-377-7469. And let me help you heal mind, body, and soul. Step out of ordinary into extraordinary.
I am Coach Yaba Swearington, and I am a professional certified life coach and a relationship consultant. I help individuals and couples with relationship concerns. I will assist you with the tools you need to have the power to let go of a relationship that no longer serves you and or to strengthen your relationship. I am looking forward to impacting, empowering, and restoring the sense of self. Schedule an individual or group session with me at toll-free 1-866-377-7469 extension 800#, or you may email me at contactus@drsnsshow.com. Remember, seek clarity, embrace it. That's a part of taking care of you, and you will begin to notice that the storm has settled.
Welcome back. Well, this has been some juicy stuff right here that we're talking about today. And right now, we are going to have Dr. Stevens share on a topic that I think that we also think that needs to be talked about, and that is the angry Black woman. And are we really angry, Dr. Stevens?
Are we really angry? Are we really angry?
Yes.
You know, when I think about that topic in that title, the angry Black woman, I also think about, you know, how they have stigmatized us and categorized us as being the mad Black woman. And this is my thought: angry Black woman or the mad Black woman. Why are Black women seen as being angry? And why do our Black men in other cultures feel they can classify or stereotype us as such? Black women aren't angry. Let me help you out. It's called PTSD, post-traumatic stress disease or disorder. As a Black woman or Black women in this day and time, we have to live and operate out of our history while trying to balance the rules of today's society. I want to ask you, what other culture have to do that? When I think about people classifying us as an angry Black woman, that right there won't make me angry. But the other thing is, you know, we have endured a lot. We have overcome so much, and yet we still are overcoming. When I think about when, you know, we can't even, for those of us who have children, especially Black boys, when our sons go out, we have to worry about whether or not they're coming back home alive, even making it back home. I think about all that's going on in the world where they have sex and human trafficking, where they're taking youngers. Anytime our children go out, we have to worry about that. We have to worry about being better than the next. You know, even when it comes to work, employment, and school, just advancing is something that we have to, I don't want to say for some dumb down, but we have to work just twice as hard to be accepted. Coach Carter, what's your thought on the angry Black woman?
So I like to remind people that anger is an anxiety emotion. And when we're anxious, we're in fight or flight. So yes, there are some Black women who get quiet, they avoid, they sit back in the shadows, but not all do. Some folks stand and fight. So that argumentative that you hear and that in your face that speak up and stand for what I know is right, that is a defensive posture. It's a protective posture. Something has gone on to where that Black woman feels she's got to defend or protect. And people are picking that up as just anger, as if she picked up out of the sky one day and decided to be angry. No, what are her experiences as a child? What are her experiences as an adult that she's had to come through? And now she knows that when she hears this, she sees the situation, she knows she's got to stand up and be protective, which is then seen as being angry. It's a protective.
You said something, you know, the childhood experiences and what people don't really think about when you're encountering someone. And I always tell people, you know, I watch them when they have their opinions or when they're making statements or even their actions. What have they experienced in their childhood that they have brought into their adulthood because there's people dealing with it? You know, and a lot of times the way we conduct ourselves are because of our mottos and habits that we've developed and formed. Say, this is how I'm going to protect myself. Or something you said, Dr. Carter. This is how I'm going to protect myself. This is how I'm going to live by this standard I set due to of what I have experienced as a child that I'm brought into my adulthood.
Now, I'm going to speak a little bit onto that myself, and it's just really a piggyback off of what Dr. Stevens and Dr. Carter has stated. You know, when I hear this topic, the angry Black woman, and are we really angry? First, I have like a double thought on that. I'm like, yes, we're angry, and I'm like, no, we're not angry. We're angry about people not understanding that we have been through a lot. You know, we already got to deal with the European world, the white world, whatever you want to call it. We got to deal with that and all the harsh things that come with that. And then we still got to go home and deal with being misunderstood. Never taking enough time to hear our pain if we do choose to share it. Because when we fall in love and we get close to someone, we share our pain. Most of us share our pain. But then we don't want that pain to be thrown back at us as another weapon against us when we become vulnerable and all these things, and you know where we're hurting at, but then you use it against us, you know, and then we're not feeling love in that moment. So I say that to this, we are angry at the harsh realities of things that we have gone through and the way that we've been treated. And we are angry at people not understanding, particularly our own men. Don't think I'm men bashing, because I've been talking about men a lot on these shows, but particularly when we look for someone to love on us and be close with us, that's the one person, our partners, is what we want them to understand us. So I do think that we are kind of like a mixed feeling there, yes and no, on if we are angry Black women, but we are coming through the angriness because we are taking roles and we are having leadership things and we are being able to speak now. So now we get our voice out, but we still have a long way to go.
Well, you know, Coach Yava, you said something really, really important. You said, when we come home, then we have our mates who also don't understand us, you know, what we've been through. Or you want to tell them your secrets or tell them stuff that you feel burdened with. And when you do tell them, they're throwing your face. And I've experienced that before. So one of my mottos that I've developed, you know, we all develop mottos, is that my history, I don't even talk about my history. One thing I don't do is I don't reminisce. I'm not going to go into what happened to me, you know, in no deep, abiding conversation of my past. You know, it's my past. It's my secret. I'm gonna take it with me. I don't. That's a conversation I don't even bring up.
But you know, Dr. Stevens, I get that you say that at this time in your life, but there was a time that we don't know what to share and not to share. And when we fall in love or we get close to someone, that at that time we're vulnerable and we're sharing and we're being open because we're entrusting.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. But it's not until those things get thrown back at us that as we get older and wiser, we stop sharing that vulnerability of us.
Exactly.
Right?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But why do we got to go through something for you to understand that pain when you should be trying to understand it when we share it with you?
Because that's the only time, that's how you learn your lesson. You know, your lesson is learned by experience.
You can look at it like that. Yeah,
that's how you learn your lesson. Your lesson is learned by experience. And in my experience, as you said, when I was younger, I shared something that did get thrown in my face. And so, you know, my motto was, I developed, I will never share it again.
You know what?
And I can understand that.
I love it that you say that, Dr. Stevens, because in life, we have to create our safe places. And that's what you did for yourself. You found that, hey, in this particular setting, that didn't end so well for me. So you had to create a safe place of security for yourself. And those are the things that we have to do. Even when it comes to our self-worth, when we go out in places and people don't really they don't find our worth significant. We have to create that for ourselves. We can't
you know
just
what?
base it off of how
But you know what, Dr.
they show
Katina? You also have a situation when you find these safe place, right? And you move on to the next relationship,
Mhm.
then you have a place where women have not, because they're being safe and protective, they're not sharing, but yet their other mate is feeling some type of way because they're like, how do I reach you? Talk to me. Because you shut down, you don't even share it to the next person because you feel that the next person is going to do the same thing the previous person done to you. And then you got to go through another whole bag of, I don't want to say you're already in some trauma state, but you got to go through another whole bag of working through all of that. And you have problems in your relationship because you're not sharing any longer.
Well, no, I wouldn't say you have problems because if you're not sharing, they don't have a clue that you're not sharing that.
Yes, they do. They do have a clue because it shows up. Yes, it shows up.
And let me tell you what I mean when I say they don't have a clue. My past, the things that I've experienced that I don't share, you don't know I haven't experienced it because I'm not sharing it with you.
No, it's Dr. Carter. I'm gonna go ahead and let you take this because I'm trying to let her know. But yeah, it comes out. It's there.
Yeah. So you have some folks. Men are empaths as well as women, and empaths can they know when there's a blockage and when there isn't, and oftentimes when I'm coaching folks, I know things that go on by what they don't say, as well as by what they actually do say. So when you block off a part of your life, for instance, but when we get close to that, if you get a little testy, you get a little defensive, it's like I'm coming close to something. So they know it's something there. They have no clue. I'm agreeing with you. They don't have a clue what it is.
What it is, right?
They just know that there's a space, that there's something, and they may wonder what it. At least, some men are sensitive and picked it up. Now, some of them,
right? So now,
like you said, what? It shows up as resistance.
Hold up, Coach Katina, because what I want to talk about, that's when we start talking about healing. If that person's not healed, of course, they are holding something, like you said, Dr. Carter, when somebody's getting close to you or close to an area that's you're not healed, and then you're responding. And I'm not talking about a person that's not healed. I'm talking about someone who you're healed from your past, but you have learned that even in your healed state, there are some things you cannot share from your past.
Okay, well, you didn't make that clear in the beginning.
So I think I'm agreeing with that.
I'm talking about those things you take to the grave.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
In your healed
okay.
Yes.
You know what? We will forget. Listen, ladies, we will forget Dr. Stephen was talking from a healed woman, okay?
Yes, from a healed place.
It showed up the way that it did.
Yeah, because if you're not healed, of course, when somebody starts getting close to that wound and trying to pull that scab off, you will start
showing rigidity,
respond in a certain way.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have Coach Katina share what she was gonna share real quick. But Coach
Katina not supposed to be sharing in this topic. Remember, I
kind of do want to say that that's also where the angriness shows up too, when you're moving in these different relationships and stuff. Because unfortunately, there is a lot of people who move on who don't get the healing that they need.
Yes, indeed.
And so it shows up in these other relationships and stuff. So we have a lot more of that than the one that are so healed like Dr. Stevens is.
Yes. But we're going to get Coach Katina 1 minute. Coach Katina, go ahead. Say what you got to say in 1 minute.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when you show up in those spaces and you're not healed, it shows up as rigidity. It shows up as resistance. A person can really tell when you're holding back, and you can be just as silent, but they know. Yeah, they know. They can see it in your posturing. So when you're thinking that you have a secret, they may not know what the secret is, but they know that you're not giving up your true self.
Absolutely. On that note, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Coach Yava is going to be reading the cherry note. We'll be right back.
Cannot wait to read that note.
Hey, it's your girl, Coach Mia, asking you to join the conversation on the SNS show, hosted by executive producer Dr. Michelle Stevens, along with her co-host, Coach Yava Swearington, sharing an in-depth conversations on relationships, health and wellness, important issues in our society, to the highs and lows of surviving everyday life. Streaming live on YouTube at DRSNS Show. That's DRSANDSSHOW. Monthly, every fourth Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. A conversation you don't want to miss. This show is also powered by Quayle Works Empowerment Network.
Welcome back. So I'm going to read the cherry note that was sent into our show. Let me begin. Dear Cherry Note, I can't believe this is my life. As I sit here with a saddened heart, I do my best to put my pain on paper. Where do I start screaming help? One would think that I have it all. I've been married for over 18 years. I just got about everything a woman can ask for. I have a husband, children, money, assets, and I travel the world at will. My first pain is that my husband's parents have never accepted me. I would like to believe that I've come to terms with this, but I haven't. His family had arranged him to marry someone else, but instead, he married me. Although he did not get his parents' blessing, his parents are still very close to him. My second pain, and most devastating, is that 10 years ago, my husband came to me and confessed that he had an affair. Not only that, a child was conceived. He kept this a secret for years, but the other woman demanded that he tell his wife that he had a child. And if he didn't, she would expose him. She did not want her child to be kept a secret. He does pay child support, but he has nothing to do with her or the child. This has always bothered me. I wanted our children to know because I did not want to keep this a secret from them. Now the child is 18 years old, and I am afraid that he or she will come knocking at my door. The affair and the secret has been a strain on our marriage. We just never seem to recover. Well, she says I have recovered, but he hasn't. I often think to myself, it's been a long time since my husband had this affair, and he should have gotten over it and moved past it. If anyone should be hurt and upset, it should be me. I try talking to him, but he just shuts down, and I don't understand why he hasn't gotten over this after all this time. To me, our marriage appears to be a showcase for others to see. My husband is well known, and I feel like for his image, he has to have the perfect look, meaning a wife on his arms and the perfect family for the world to see. We live in two different states. He's always available for me for parties. We go out to dinner. We even travel together. When we're apart, he flies home. The kids and I fly home often to see him as I like, but I'm very lonely. And I'm living a life where there is no sex, no passion. We sleep in the same bed when we're together, but still no sex. When we're apart, he calls home every day and every night. But the conversation is always about our kids, businesses, and never about us. He avoids any conversation about our marriage or sex. Oftentimes, I think I want to leave and move out or move on, she says. But I love my husband. I have sexual needs. What should I do? Sign The Perfect Look, Sexless Marriage.
On that note, we'll be right back. And when we come back, we're going to give her a response, give her an answer to her question. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's your girl, Coach Mia, asking you to join the conversation on the SNS Show, hosted by executive producer Dr. Michelle Stevens, along with her co-host, Coach Yava Swearington, sharing an in-depth conversations on relationships, health and wellness, important issues in our society, to the highs and lows of surviving everyday life. Streaming live on YouTube at DRSNS Show. That's DRSNS ANDSSHOW, monthly every fourth Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. A conversation you don't want to miss. This show is also powered by Quayle Works Empowerment Network.
This is deep. I tell you what, when I be thinking about the perfect life, got money, assets, car, everything I need, and I'm not having no sex and stuff, I will not be professional, but I'm like, girl, get a dildo and keep it moving. That's might be okay. Okay, it's still okay. Okay, but you can't get that passion that you're looking for. So and she's evidently she's a woman that needs to be touched and held and talked to, and she's missing that intimacy, and so that is very difficult for anybody to have it all, but they don't have that. You got the man in the bed, but you don't got the man. Like you how do you keep bonding? So what does she do in this state? I say first seek counseling, really, because evidently there are some things that that needs to be worked through, and I believe that maybe the husband could be shamed. Maybe it's cultural based. How they deal with such his secret being exposed and being out there. So I think that he may be struggling with something. I know Dr. Stephen was feeling like maybe he was having some dysfunctional with his male parts down there. And maybe he don't want her to know, but I'm telling you, that's a long time. It's been 10 years ago, and we ain't got back this. I mean, that means there is something much more deeper, because
there's
I don't know.
definitely something deeper.
This is
Coach
definitely
Carter,
deeper.
what's your take? What advice would you give our cherry note, our
So
writer?
I'm with Coach Java. The first thing will be to see a marriage and family therapist. Sometimes there's a misnomer that if the husband or the wife won't go, I can't go. No, it takes one person to start healing and getting better. And listening to that, I am not sure what, I know the passion and sex. Interesting that she didn't say intimacy, because they're not the same. Sex and intimacy aren't the same, but what else? What does she want? Who does she believe she is? Because she says she loves her husband, but what does she love? Because there's no intimacy, so it doesn't sound like there is no sex, there's no passion, there's this separateness. So what is it about him that she loves? And I think a therapist is the perfect place to work through that, to see what does she want and then what her next step should be.
Absolutely.
Coach Katina, what's your take?
Yes. So we can definitely see that love is in the air. And so one of the things she need to do, like everyone else is saying, is like explore and navigate like root causes of what's really going on. And when she get to that clinician, that professional, whoever she chooses to seek out to, in the process of doing all that, continue to rebalance yourself. That's one of the things you have to do, and refocus on what you need to do to move forward. And then just remember that while you're going through it all, you in preparation stage, because she's going to be restored back to greatness through it all after she continues to speak to someone and work through whatever advice they give her to work through on. But she have to center and just stay grounded through it all, and don't let any distractions get into the way of that. And I like to tell people, while you're working on you, continue to fill yourself up, because so many distractions can get in the way. So many negative things can get in the way. So fill yourself up with all the positive affirmations you can. Fill yourself up with peace, joy, happiness, grace, compassion, strength, whatever it might be. Just fill yourself up as you're going through the healing process.
That's some good advice. That's going to lead us right into our next topic. And our next topic is healing the Black woman. I want to read this before I get y'all take on healing the Black woman. It says, Black women disproportionately experience anxiety and depression. Although we are strong, we must take time to self-care and ensure we are whole. Some of my advice is we must first ask for help. Because one thing we'll do is we'll get in crisis mode and we won't ask for help. So we definitely have to ask for help. We have to take time to breathe. Take those moments where you're breathing, you're meditating, you're sitting back and realizing, you know what, I need some help. And create a safe space to relax and operate in our femininity. So, Coach Carter, what would be your advice on healing the Black woman?
Healing starts with us first. It starts with us accepting ourselves first and understanding that the strong Black woman doesn't mean you can't search for help. You just need to seek for help with the right person, the person who is able to help you, be it your pastor, your imam, your best friend, your mother's aunt, a therapist, a coach. Seek the healing from the person who is there that you trust. But it does start with acceptance. And everybody can use help. Everyone can use help. It's not a sign of weakness, right? It's not a sign that you're not even strong. It's a sign of strength to say, I want to step outside of myself and see how you see it and see if I can put together a better way to move forward.
Coach Yava.
No, we're going to go ahead and pass this to Coach Katina.
All right, Coach Katina.
Okay. Well, I want to offer a couple of tips because when we're working on ourselves and after we have gone through the acceptance process, I like to tell people when you're working on self, do not try to control the spaces of other people, because when you try to do that, that simply makes you miserable when you're trying to show them how to treat you, how to care for you, what they need to be doing. Work solely on self while you're in that process. And when I say that, that means just taking responsibility for your life. It doesn't mean being a people pleaser and all that type of stuff. Just take responsibility for your life. The second tip I like to add is just stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop comparing your relationships to other people's relationships. Visualize the type of life you want to live. And when you visualize that life that you want to live, then write it down, make it plain. That's kind of like what you've been hearing over the years. You have to do that to make it real for yourself. The third tip that I like to add is say nice things out loud daily to other people, your significant other, your children, whoever that might be. Be sure to say nice things out loud. You can't just assume that people know that you mean these things about them. So a lot of people be like, well, you know how I feel. That's not the case. People don't know how you feel if you do not tell them. So make sure that you show gratitude, celebrate people, even the small things in those spaces. You have to do those things. And the fourth tip I like to add is love yourself.
Absolutely.
You have to love yourself so you can get really good at loving. There's no way you can go walk around and say, well, you know what? I love you, because people are using that word very recklessly. And if you don't love yourself, there's just no way you can be continuously loving on other people. So I want to kind of end on that note with just telling folks, live the best version of yourself.
And I also want to say, in healing yourself, also check your home front. Like your home, you might need to change the energy in your house. Open up some windows, let some fresh air in, redecorate. Sometimes redecorate can make you feel good because it puts you in a different state of mind, positive mindset. The colors in your home, like a lot of times it could be just a small, simple shift you can do that will make a whole big impact on your life, because colors create mood, make you feel a certain type of way. If you ever go to a psychiatrist's office, if you notice a lot of the colors are bright colors or mild colors, where you can open up and just give and share. Maybe you got too much dark stuff. A lot of times it'd be something simple, and also when healing yourself, I would say first and foremost, find a prayer closet, get down on your knees and pray that stuff away. And before you know it, get out your head too, because sometimes we be in our own head, we get in our own way, and we can't even get the healing that we need because we're too busy trying to figure it all out. Sometimes you don't need to figure it out. You just need to receive information, keep positive stuff around you, get in your church and your spiritual walk, make sure all those things are going on. And before you know it, you're out of that little funk that you're in or that you feel. That's what I have to say about the healing process.
I love it. That's what that rebalancing yourself looks like.
Absolutely. On that note, we'll be right back.
Been here since day one. Hey, it's your girl, Coach Lady Q, asking you to join me on the Glow 365 TV every first Tuesday for The Mia Allman Show, hosted by yours truly, followed by the second Tuesday with Holistic Health Show with Coach Dawn. We stroll down to the third Tuesday with On Q Show, hosted by Evangelist Coach Lady Q. Then we close out the month with the Sophie G Show, hosted by Coach Sophie G. Join us as we go live on Facebook and YouTube at Glow 365 TV Show every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time as we talk about the mind, body, and soul. A conversation you don't want to miss.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you. Well, this is some good stuff. But right now, we're about to hear a beautiful poem that Dr. Stevens has written, and she's about to share the poem. Dr. Stevens, please share with us the poem.
Understanding Us, the Black Woman. And this poem is titled The Fabric of a Black Woman. I was created by the Spirit of God, wonderfully and marvelously made, with a heartbeat like the sound of a drum. Boom, 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 boom. The fabric of a Black woman. Black, mulatto, Negro, colored, Black American, African American. Some hate me, some rape me, some date me, some love me. They want to taste me, feel me, but they really want to behold me. The fabric of a Black woman. My skin is as black as coal, onyx, brown as milk chocolate, white albino like satin. Some tanned for it, some lay in the sun and burn for it, but just wait, it will fade. Only my melanin skin tone will last. The fabric of a Black woman. They say your eyes are the window to your soul. Mine are black, brown, blue, hazel, gray, and green. What I see is the divine providence beyond creation. The fabric of a Black woman. My voice is strong like thunder, is soft with the mixture of sound and tones that make sentences flow, that create beautiful phrases, paragraphs, melodies, and is dynamic, that will make you stand and take notice. The fabric of a Black woman. My back is strong. I carry the histories of my ancestors and the weight of my child as he rides because he doesn't want to walk. My soul is the emotional, intellectual energy and intensity of a piece of artistic performance. The fabric of a Black woman. My hair is soft, long, short, curly, and woolly too. It's a beauty no one can outdo. I am captivating and the essence of beauty. I am ambitious. I am confident. I am the value that's immeasurable. I set the standards for classy. The fabric of a Black woman. My arms are strong as I push through the pressure of the world, the force of nature in every challenge I meet. As I journey through this life, the fabric of a Black woman. My love is precious. My love is strong. My love is passionate. I embody reliant love. I'm there when you need me, and I'm there when you don't. My love is resilient. My love is inviting and all-encompassing. The fabric of a Black woman. My legs and feet hold me up as I leave my footprints of failures and achievements, as I make my mark in time that never stands still. I am the existence and creation of the fabric of a Black woman.
Yes.
That is
Love
beautiful.
it.
Yes.
Beautiful.
That is
Yes.
beautiful, beautiful.
On that note, we'll be right back.
That
And
was
when we
deep.
come back, we're going to give you words of encouragement. Be right back.
Hey, I'm Dr. Michelle Stevens, a certified master life and wellness coach and minister of the gospel. I help women move from stagnation to certainty, uncover who they are, create goals, and build strategies to success. Schedule a 45-minute consultation with me, and let's jumpstart your journey to a new beginning. You may email me at contactus@drsnsshow.com, or you may call to schedule a session with me at 866-3 377-7469. And let me help you heal mind, body, and soul. Step out of ordinary into extraordinary.
I am Coach Yaba Swearington, and I am a professional certified life coach and a relationship consultant. I help individuals and couples with relationship concerns. I will assist you with the tools you need to have the power to let go of a relationship that no longer serves you and or to strengthen your relationship. I am looking forward to impacting, empowering, and restoring the sense of self. Schedule an individual or group session with me at toll-free 1-866-377-7469 extension 800#, or you may email me at contactus@drsnsshow.com. Remember, seek clarity, embrace it. That's a part of taking care of you, and you will begin to notice that the storm has settled.
And welcome back. Welcome back. That poem was just absolutely deep. Absolutely deep. Right now, I'm going to give my words of encouragement. And what I would like to say is that ladies, all ladies, especially my Black sisters out there, remember this: in healing, you only really need two things: love and forgiveness. If you harness that more, you will see and get through any situation, and not forgetting about prayer, of course. But I would like to say is that let go of anything that does not help you to become a better you. And instead of allowing others to misunderstand us, let's do a better job of sharing what it is that we want others to know about us as we move through this world. Thank you.
I want to say, if you have a cherry note, if you have a situation that you would like some answers to, write us. Send us an email to contact us at the drsnsshow.com and address it to the cherry note. And we will read your cherry note and give you a response here on our show. If you have a product or a business and you would like to advertise on our show, email us at contactus@drsnsshow.com, or you may call us at 866-377-7469. And we would definitely love for you to advertise on our show. Please visit our website, www.drsnsshow.com, and go to our shop and support us by purchasing one of our signature glasses. I want to thank our viewers and our special guests, Dr. Carter and Coach Katina Farrington, for being on our show and accepting our invitation. My words of encouragement to you is definitely self-love. And remember, creating your safe space, fulfilling your goals so that you can achieve the maximum. I'm Dr. Stevens, and thank you for viewing the Dr. Stevens and Swearington Show. And I will say, make it sizzle
And make it hot.